What I'm going to share with you today is a deep dive into a reality that, honestly, we hope never to experience. A reality where man, the creator of scientific wonders and extraordinary advancements, is also capable of conceiving weapons capable of annihilating human existence itself. In today's video, we will tell the story of the most devastating system in human history known as DEAD. But before we continue, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to support us. Returning to the video, the chilling question that looms over us is, are human weapons truly capable of bringing about the end of humanity? This uncertainty makes us tremble in the face of the possibility of an imminent disaster. The variables are numerous, and a good part of them depends on the unpredictable behavior of human beings. We live in a world where the risk of nuclear war, with catastrophic consequences, seems closer than ever. A nuclear war is not limited to the immediate impact of the bomb explosion. It goes far beyond that. The resulting smoke and radiation would cause irreparable damage to the health of survivors. Crops would be contaminated, spreading famine worldwide. The ozone layer would be destroyed, triggering a climatic catastrophe that would threaten life as we know it. The so-called nuclear winter could condemn around 5 billion people to death, not to mention other species that share our planet. This risk, which seemed dormant in the past decades, has resurfaced strongly due to recent conflicts around the world. A notorious example is the war in Ukraine, where attacks near the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, the largest in Europe, aroused real fear of an unprecedented disaster. The possibility of involvement of OTAN member countries raised the red alert for the risk of a devastating military escalation. However, what many are unaware of is the existence of one of the most frightening mechanisms developed during the Cold War by the Soviet Union, which is still operational today. This system is known as Dead Hand, and it is one of the most devastating systems ever created by humanity. To better understand this context, we need to go back to the post-World War II period in 1945. The United States and the Soviet Union emerged as the two major world powers, representing capitalism and socialism, respectively. Although they did not engage in direct conflict, the competition for global hegemony was palpable, reflected in various fronts, including the space race. However, on Earth, the tension between these nations was intense, especially during the Cuban Missile Crisis, a delicate moment when the world was on the brink of nuclear war. Less than 200 kilometers off the coast of the United States, the Soviet Union deployed nuclear missiles in Cuba, causing a crisis that only avoided nuclear conflict thanks to the decisive intervention of Vasily Arkhipov, a Soviet officer. A few decades later, in 1983, the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, announced the launch of a military program known as Star Wars. While this program sought to defend the country against possible attacks with satellites equipped with laser cannons, the Soviet Union, in response, developed a peculiar defense system called Dead Hand. This system aimed to ensure that, even in the event of a destructive attack, the Soviets could retaliate after their own extinction. It was a macabre mechanism capable of carrying out automatic retaliation as an act of posthumous revenge. This system, officially known as Perimeter, became operational in 1985. Perimeter was designed based on the concept of a dead man's switch, a mechanism that performs an action based on the absence of an order. This type of system is used in various areas, from autonomous cars to information security. In the case of Perimeter, 4 propositions were analyzed: detection of a nuclear attack, communication with the war room, system disarmament, and authority transfer to a standby operator. If the system concluded that a nuclear attack had occurred, it would follow the propositions sequentially. Perimeter analyzed levels of radioactivity, illumination, atmospheric pressure, and seismic activity to determine if an attack had hit Soviet soil. If affirmative, it proceeded to verify communication with the war room, disarm the system, or ultimately transfer authority to a standby operator. Uncertainty hangs over the role of the standby operator. Some sources indicate that they would have the final decision on missile launch, while others suggest that the system could be completely autonomous. The location of the bunker where this operator would be protected remains a mystery, but there is speculation that it might be inside Mount Kevin, an isolated and frozen region in the heart of Russian territory. Surprisingly, Dead Hand is not a relic of the past. On the contrary, it is fully operational and, according to experts like Bruce Blair, is being enhanced to resist possible radio signal interceptions. Russia is not alone in this scenario, as other nations like the United Kingdom also have retaliation mechanisms in case of a nuclear attack. In the case of the United Kingdom, the British Prime Minister has at their disposal 4 letters of last resort. These letters contain specific instructions on how commanders of missile-equipped submarines should act if a nuclear attack devastates the country and eliminates the British government. The content of these letters is highly classified, and their destruction is ensured at the end of each Prime Minister's term. As frightening as these mechanisms may be, they have a peculiar logic. The abundant existence of weapons of mass destruction is paradoxically what contributes to maintaining peace on a global scale. The idea behind this is the so-called mutual assured destruction, where the mere possibility of a nuclear attack prevents one country from attacking another, as retaliation would be immediate, resulting in the annihilation of both. However, this balance is extremely delicate and subject to abrupt changes. An unbalanced leader on the brink of losing power could make an impulsive decision and trigger a series of catastrophic events. The concept of dead hand, which seemed a sensible strategy during the Cold War, reveals itself as a paradox where supposed peace is maintained by the constant threat of mutual annihilation. Ultimately, the existence of these mechanisms reminds us of a famous quote attributed to Albert Einstein. "I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." A poignant reminder that, despite all of humanity's advances, we remain vulnerable to our own destructive inventions. I sincerely thank you for your attention and for being part of this journey of discoveries. Until the next video, and once again, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like.